Have you ever wanted to make your own snake game for when you want to play offline and pause the game without any problems and look inspired from another snake game? Here, we can learn how to make your own snake game with Python Pygame. Let's get started. Hello everyone. For this video, we're going to learn how to create a snake game using Python and Pygame. First, we're going to import Pygame and sys. Now, we'll configure the screen width to 600 and 640 for height. And put the caption the game name. Now, since our game will have checkered tiles as the map, we need to set the colors of the tiles and their borders. We also need a background color. Copy them as it is written in the code. The code will be inspired from Google Snake Game, which means that these four main color are variations of green, representing grass. For the map settings, we will set first the tile size, which will be 40. And we'll set a same number of rows and columns, which will be 15. Now, in this part, is where we are going to start coding the game loop. The first important part of a game loop is to add the while true and this part of the code where the player should be able to close the program without any problems. One important detail is to fill the game screen with the background color we have set and to put this code to make the game display get updated. As you can see, we now have our own game screen with the background color we have set. Now, we're going to create the checkered map for the game. For that, use for row in range and below that for colon range, so it can form loops of tiles in squared form. We'll create a color variable. What it will do is that it will have a pattern of different colors. Example, if odd, it will be light green. If even, it will be dark green. We'll create X and Y variables. What it will do is that each one of these will get its own coordinates for the row and column. Now, we'll write a line of code to generate all of these tiles and another line of code to create the borders for each of the tiles. Now, I'll take a small break and then continue with the project. Now, we're going to create the fruit for the game. First, we're going to set the colors for the fruit. One for the square and other for their border. Now, we'll create an object to make the fruit spawn in a random cell from the map grid. It will set a random X and Y coordinate from the map. We'll also make the fruit not able to spawn in any part of the snake. Copy the code created. Now, we'll create these lines of code to draw the fruit in the game. As you can see, the food spawns in a random cell position in the map.
Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I
Now,
step
we'll take
still,
another break.
hanging in the balance, not the life I want to.
Now, we're going to create the snake for our game. Since this will be related to the snake game from Google, the fruit color is red and the snake colors are blue. We'll make different blue colors for the head and the body. We'll also create the snake start position and its own moving speed. Now, we're going to create these lines of code to make the snake move according to the told controls. We should also make the previous frame be removed and replaced with the new frame. We'll also make the snake grow when it consumes fruits. Now, we'll create these lines of code to color the head and body in different colors. Finally, we're going to add a sort of frame per second counter to make the snake move the told speed. Copy the code made so it works perfectly. As you can see, the snake moves, consumes and grows. The result video is sped up. We'll add collision detections and game over conditions after our break. Now, we'll add conditions for score, game over and victory. We'll do some changes on the code so the user can play when it has not lost or won. For the victory condition, we'll add a maximum score, which is, in this case, 15 to the power of 2 minus 2. Since the snake starts with one tile long, and since the fruit spawns in tiles that the snake is in position, we should leave only one tile for the fruit since the game will crash due to the fruit not having any spawning tiles. We'll have a result of 223. For the game over condition, we'll add collision detection to the snake itself and to the game walls. If any of these collision happen, it's game over. Now we'll draw the score label. Copy the changes made. Now, we'll create game over and victory screens. You can watch how it's made. We'll add a start screen for later. We'll also create a code for restarting the game after a game over or victory. Now, we'll add conditions after a game over, victory, and restart game. Copy all of the changes made. As you can see, our game now has the things we added in the code. Now, we'll take another break. Now, we'll add start and pause screens. First, we'll create a variable to indicate the start screen. And we'll do some changes in the code to apply the start screen logic. We'll also add this code to display the start screen we have added. As you can see, the start screen has appeared. And once I press the enter key, the game starts. Now, we'll create a pause logic and add a pause screen to the game. First, we'll create a variable to label the pause. And also create the pausing logic to the code. We'll finally add the pause screen and add the code to display that pause screen. As you can see, when you press escape, the game freezes as a pause. You can only pause when you are not on any game screen. Now, we'll take another break. Now, the final thing we are going to do is to add sound effects for the Snake game. First, we're going to import OS and initialize Pygame Mixer. Also insert the sound files for the game. We have sounds for directions, eat, lose and win. Copy these lines of code. Now, we're going to make some changes in the Snake direction code to apply the direction audios. Also to add a few lines of code to apply the sounds for each direction. We're also going to add the audios for consuming fruit, and when the player loses or wins. Now, the last thing we're going to do is to add an icon to our game with these lines of code. Finally, we have finished the Snake game inspired from Google. The rest of the remaining video is some gameplay with sound effects. We have concluded our video here. Hope every part of the code functions perfectly and enjoy your game. With this snake game, you can play offline and be able to pause at any moment. We can really say that this took inspiration from the Google Snake game. See you in another video.